Welcome to Zorica, a world shaped by the raw power of primal elements and spiritual forces. The land pulses with the energy of water, earth, fire, and air, while a delicate balance between life and death controls the rhythm of creation and decay. Every part of existence is touched by these forces, and only by respecting their flow can survival be ensured. Among Zorica's continents, Aruthar stands as a land rich with diversity and riddled with conflict. Its landscapes stretch from scorching deserts and sky-piercing mountains to vast forests shaped by the chaotic ebb and flow of the seasons. This tumultuous land is governed by two powerful sovereignties: the Sunspire Dominion, a grand elven empire in the south, and Durak Thol, a mighty northern realm of the Khazdurim. Their bitter conflicts have scarred the land and its people. For the past few decades, an uneasy peace has prevailed. Join me as we dive into this realm, following the paths of four adventurers as they make their way to Elandor, a thriving port city at the southern edge of Aruthar, deep within the Sunspire Dominion. Their arrival marks the beginning of an adventure, one that just might determine the outcome of the world as a whole. Welcome to Inspired Initiative. As the sun begins to wane on the 27th of Verdandis, the 5th month of the 987th year of the Dominion, our story begins, with two adventurers arriving at the western gates of Elandor. Behind them lies the endless expanse of the shifting sand sea, a harsh desert they've braved for nearly 2 months. Now at last, the sprawling port city stands before them, just steps away. The gates are part of a formidable wall that wraps around Elandor, with tall watchtowers positioned every few hundred feet. From beyond the walls, the distant hum of city life grows louder. A blend of commerce, magic, and adventure waiting to unfold. The promise of rest and perhaps something more lies just within these gates. Maldorwen, if you would like to introduce your character.
All right, sure. So, Maldorwen is clad in vibrant and somewhat dusty clothes, with colors and patterns bold as his personality, mainly maroon, orange, and yellow. He's also wearing a metallic helmet with an avian design resembling a bird's beak and its upper head. It is adorned with plumes of similar colors as his garments, which combined with the stacked heels of his boots make him look a bit taller, even though he's barely 4 feet. You can tell there is padding to the clothes, and even some hardened, studded leather reinforcements around his chest and right shoulder, where there is also a dry blood stain right on his right shoulder. He is carrying a crossbow that is almost as big as himself. The weapon looks unblemished, and its arm, shaped like a pair of wings, is shining under the last lights of Verdandis here. And even though it is cumbersome, this gnome handles that weapon and himself with confidence, as they stand tall, or at least as tall as he can, taking in the view of the port city here, and looking around also at his traveling companion.
As you look up to the individual you've been traveling the last 2-ish months with, Rhukkarrak, you would like to describe your character.
Yes. Rhukkarrak is a 5'9", unusually pale green orc with white hair and deep blue eyes. He's wearing a purple gambeson under a tunic made of some kind of leather that's hard to identify. His pants seem to be made of the same strange leather. He's also wearing tall boots, long gloves, and a dark cloak, leaving very little of his skin exposed. At his waist hangs a dagger and short sword, altogether giving him a fairly intimidating figure.
As the two of you are stepping closer and closer to the actual gates themselves, the city just moments away, and excitement starts to swell within you. You kind of look back at the other companions or individuals you were escorting, 2 merchants, elven merchants, that call this place home, as they are currently tying up their pack animal, a Gronthar, a large tortoise-like beast. One of them looks towards you, Maldorwen, and starts walking up towards you with a sack of coins, paying you for your journey. Thank you so much for everything you've done. We made it safe here, well, most of us at least. Yeah. And hands you 2 different sacks, one for you and one for Rhukkarrak.
Okay, he's going to take one of them and hand it to Ruka, and the other one he will hand it back to the merchant and say, I fear it was in part my fault that, well, not all of us made it. I feel responsible. I should have performed better, so here.
Are you sure it's not your fault? The wilds are dangerous.
Yes, I'm quite sure. Actually, if you would honor my presence still, I would much rather have you show us the city, perhaps. Give us a tour. Maybe tell us of a place where we can find shelter.
I see. I believe that could be arranged. Currently, we're quite busy, as we just arrived, and have quite a bit of errands to run. But, I think in the next following days we could meet up and I could show you a better scope of the city itself. In the meantime, I believe the Flagon is quite the establishment that would serve you too well. Rest some of those wounds and exhaustion.
Flame and Flagon, you say? All right. Any directions on how to get there?
Oh, right, you have never been here. Just go through the city gates and call the first ferryman you see right on the canal. And just inform them where you want to go, show them a few coin, they'll take you on your way.
Ferryman on the canal, okay.
Yeah, have at least a few for the ride and your night stay. And gives you back a few coin.
And that is Therion, right?
Correct. They're in Star Shadow, one of the merchants you traveled with.
Mm-hmm. I will take back... Okay, I take some of the gold that he's giving me back. How much is it?
5 pieces.
Okay. 5 gold pieces. And then he'll kind of look around and he will look for Izerna with his eyes, right?
Correct. She is currently
Okay.
over finishing up with the Gronthar.
Okay, he'll kind of raise his hand, trying to catch her attention, and will say, "You were brave. Perhaps not very accurate, but you were brave. It was an honor fighting beside you." And then you'll start walking towards the doors of the city.
Rhukkarrak will follow, and as they're walking away, he's going to say quietly, "If you don't take the payment as discussed, it's going to leave you hungry and in the gutter."
I think we're actually looking for the gutter. Ferryman on the canal is what Therion said. Called me old-fashioned, I don't know. Why don't we just get going?
What are our plans once we get into the city? I need to check in with the Dawnward Sentinels here. But it is getting late. I suppose we just head to this tavern?
I wouldn't mind having a drink, would you?
No, I would not. Let's get food and rest, and I can check in the morning.
All right, Entes. See any canal, any ferrymen around?
I'm assuming this is some kind of boat?
Yeah, probably, yes.
Well, as he takes advantage of his stature as opposed to his companion, he'll look around and find the closest waterway and head that direction.
Okay. As you kind of just see right past the cusp of the gates themselves as you walk through, you see the runic inscriptions allowing some more defensive nature here with the two guards standing post that kind of nod to you as you walk into the city proper and are able to spot some commotion and potentially a ferryman. But as you do step into the city, we're going to transition to across the city. Two more adventurers make their way towards the eastern gates. Behind them lie the Desert Shade Woods, a vast wilderness they've traversed for months. Now with their journey nearly complete, excitement drives their final steps towards the city. Here the circular walls of Elandor continue, standing tall and unbroken, with the gate ahead ready to deter any unwanted visitors. As you approach the entrance, the din of the city's life just beyond starts to reach your ears. I'd like to describe your characters for me.
Euan stands sort of head and shoulders around above the rest of the people out here on the bridge on their way into the city. About 6'7", tall, fairly well built but lean. Currently wearing just a pair of hide pants with furs and leather sort of around his shoulders, his shins, his calves, a little bit around his waist, with bits of bark that are set almost like armor. It sort of gives that illusion. His hand absent-mindedly traces up to a long knotted scar that is on his chest, going down from his face and into the waistline of his pants. With just the faint tinge of red scales sort of contrasting the green body that he has, which is an oddity, if you will. As I do believe he's the only green Drakthir that exists, or at least is known about right now. His piercing golden eyes scan the crowd, looking for anything that looks official or anyone that could point them in a direction, a town crier, a guard, a guide, anything. And he looks down at the traveling companion that is with him, just casually grumbles out, "I think I'm hungry. Means you're probably hungry as well, little one. How are you faring?
As if you would like to describe your character.
As if on cue to the question that was asked, her stomach lets out a loud growl. And seen walking sort of behind the large Drakthir is a young waif of an elven girl who is quite charismatic and colorful sight to see. She's an almost ethereal beauty that stands around 5'7", and her light caramel-colored skin almost seems to glow with life, even under the small scratches and smudges of dirt and mud that come from long travel. Lavender-colored eyes dart about in wonder and curiosity, but if you were to meet them in a gaze, you would see the gaze of an old soul filled with hidden mysteries and a hint of mischief. Her full lips also hinted a mischievous side to her. Her constant, gentle, warm, and inviting smile, ever present, although sometimes that smile shows a bit more of a childlike trickster that occasionally pops out. Her long hair falls to just under her shoulder blades, messy as if it hasn't seen a brush in many days, or perhaps even weeks. Judging by the small twigs and leaves that seem to be and it seems to be one of the more unique parts about her. It's all the hues of the rainbow. Her lithe form is more of a dancer's, slim and fit, yet not too muscled. However, just enough to show that she has worked her life and not sat or rested. Her clothing is rough, hand-woven materials that have been sewn together into very simplistic yet rustically ornate clothing. She's adorned with many pieces of jewelry that are all beautifully crafted, yet one necklace stands out that seems to hang from her neck. The crystal that's set into an ornate setting seems to have a brighter glow to it. One more addition would be a blue lizard's tail that seems to wrap about her neck, and if you peer closely into her hair, there's a small blue lizard, similar looking to a gecko, which also seems to have a large set of almost dragonfly-looking wings. If you stare too long, though, the little tongue will flick out as if almost it's blowing a raspberry at you. Yes, I am very hungry. I think it is time we get food, and maybe somewhere to sit. My feet hurt so much.
Euan will nod and again scan the crowd to try to find someone. His eyes will sort of settle on a guardsman that's near the gate. And he'll, with a little bit more urgency, sort of push his way through the crowd to get over to him. And will...
Can I help you?
Yes, actually, we are new to town, looking for a place for food, maybe some lodging. We've been on the road for quite some time.
I see. The nearest tavern to here that could feed you nice and well is Flagon. Flagon. Take any of the ferrymen and they'll guide you right to it.
Very well, the Flame and Dragon. Flame and Flagon.
Flame and Flagon.
Flame and Flagon. I'll get it eventually. He'll turn to Asja as though he's going to say something. Stop, turn back around. How do we get there?
Kind of points inwards towards the city where you can see a canal that is almost directly up towards the gate there, as different boats and vessels are traveling across it. Just go stand over there. Look like you want to go somewhere. Wave someone down. Show them some coin. They'll take you where you need to go.
Very well, thank you. I guess
Gives
we're
you a
going
nod.
over there. No, Asja.
We are going. Just thank you. Hungry for food. I hope the food is spicy.
Me too. And we'll make our way over to that little ferry canal that we were pointing out.
Okay. As the four of you fully enter the city for the first time here, the sun sinking low on the horizon, Elandor hums with life. The air carries the scent of fresh bread and salt water, blending with the soft murmur of conversation. Elven citizens move gracefully through the streets, some carrying baskets of goods, other deep in quiet discussion, while boatmen guide narrow vessels through the waterways. Laughter echoes from a group of children splashing playfully in the canals, sending ripples across the glassy surface as silver-scaled fish dart away from their games. The canals weave through the city like veins, lined with residential buildings that sit snugly against the water's edge. Bridges arc elegantly over the canals, allowing both boats and people to pass below. A few market stalls still bustle near the bridges, vendors calling out their final sales before closing for the evening, while soft music drifts from an open tavern window. The architecture reflects elven craftsmanship, with structures of stone and wood and primarily glass flowing naturally into their surroundings. Carved wooden railings wrap around balconies, and stained glass windows catch the fading sunlight, scattering fragments of color onto the cobblestones. Beneath the clear water, fish glide lazily among submerged windows, where entire homes are built into the canal walls, illuminated softly from within. You all kind of just notice this as you take your different ferrymen, pay their few gold that they cost, or copper in this case, as they start to lead you towards a bit of respite, and more importantly, a bite to eat, as you all kind of feel that urge of hunger in your stomach. After just taking in the city itself and traveling along these canals, it's quite the sight to see. It is very almost overwhelming from having several months of near solitude, only having a few companions, and Asja and Euan's case, just a single other companion, to now having a brimming, bustling city with people everywhere all around you. Eventually, you will both start to arrive at this flaming flagon. After departing from the little ferryman, they kind of give you a little wave and welcome you to the city proper before you step foot into the tavern itself. As you step into the flaming flagon, warmth and lively energy greet you. The tavern glows with the soft shimmer of ember glass inlays, casting warm oranges and cool blues across the room. At the heart of the space, a massive stone fireplace crackles with enchanted flames, shifting colors with each flicker. The air is thick with the scent of roasted meats, spiced cider, and the electric tang of some sort of drink. Laughter and chatter fill the room, adventurers sharing tales, merchants striking deals, and the guards that you see unwinding with drinks in their hand. Patrons gather at long tables beneath arched wooden beams, singing along to the lively tune of a bard's lute in the corner, while trophies from different monster hunts adorn the walls alongside maps of Aruthar, hinting at hidden treasures and maybe some distant quests. Behind the bar, a grinning elf skillfully pours glowing brews, chatting with travelers and patrons alike.
Well, certainly smells good enough. Let's hope they can get the spice right.
As Rhukkarrak and Maldorwen, you step in first. You're kind of looking around for a place to sit. This tavern's quite busy, and there's not a whole lot of room, so it takes you a minute to kind of look out of space, right as both Asja and Euan enter right behind you. As you guys are kind of stunned there, looking for a spot to call your own for the night, you see a taller elven individual come from a back room and kind of wave out towards you and make their way towards the little group here that is somehow formed. Ah, welcome. It's great to see new faces. I am Baylor, the Tavern's proprietor and owner. Please welcome in. The Flaming Flagon welcomes you.
Thank you for the warm welcome.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Before you see this taller elf, his short silvered hair purposefully messy and catching the nearby light. A rugged scar runs beneath one of his eyes, which is a leather eye patch covering one of his eyes, hinting at battles long past. His broad shoulders and strong build reflect a warrior's history, though softened with age. He moves with easy confidence, dressed in a simple green tunic and leather bracers. Despite his formidable appearance, there's a warmth in his gaze and a small, welcoming smile plays at his lips. I'm sure there's many of stories behind those mouths of yours. Did you all just arrive at the city?
Yes. As he kind of looks back behind him with these new companions, kind of like, oh, there's others here.
We just arrived from the road. Been a long couple of months.
But please
Asja.
allow us to treat you to a nice night stay here at the Flaming Flagon. Were you gonna say something, Asja?
I was just going to say Asja just kind of pokes out and waves a little and nods when he asks, are you new here?
If you have need of anything, some food, drinks, whatnot, Lenin, it kind of points to the elven individual behind the bar who is currently pouring those glowing brews. He'll take care of you real nice and well. I have other things to attend to, but welcome in and welcome to Elandor. And gives a kind of curtsy bow before moving on.
Well, it looks like we need to talk to Lenin. Yeah, he's gonna go over to the bar.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Euan also hobble his way over there.
Asja will kind of link a finger into Euan's belt and kind of just wide-eyed stare around as she's getting pulled towards the bar.
As this new group that just, I guess you were paired together. You both came in together and you all look like adventurers as you now start to make your way towards the bar here. The elf behind the bar, who you know to be now Lenin, his golden hair that falls loosely around his shoulders. He has a charming amber eyes, sparkle with warmth. He carries himself with a youthful energy, his face often lit with a cheerful smile. Despite his age, his features hold the timeless grace of his kind, while his easy movements behind the bar reflect both confidence and comfort in the role here in the tavern. Welcome, friends. Can I interest you in some drinks? As he pours some other drinks for some other patrons.
What is that glowing thing?
Oh, this idea. He kind of holds up a glass bottle of this, like, really quite vibrantly glowing liquor of some sort. This here is cinder cider. It's quite the stuff. Warms you up real good. Can I interest you in some?
Sure.
Absolutely. Takes a glass flagon out and pours you a generous helping. Kind of slides it towards you. Anything else for the rest of you?
Well, we also need food and lodging.
Ah, I see. Well, let's see. He kind of looks around the quite busy interior here, trying to look out for a table that is open and vacant currently. Ah, right there. There's a table right over there if you want to just take a seat over there. We can bring out some food. What's the orders? Kind of grabs a little notebook that he can scratch on your guys' orders.
Oh, I can have whatever the chef would suggest. I'm not picky.
Very well. Chef's recommendation.
As far as a drink, I'll just take some herbal tea. Maybe a little bit of honey.
Herbal tea. You got it?
I would
Any-
also like the tea.
Another
But
tea.
what kind of foods do you have?
Oh, we have all manner of kind. Seafood is primarily our most popular dish. Different kinds of leviathan and whatnot.
Seafood. What is... I will try the seafood. I think that sounds new. But can you make spicy?
Ah, well, of course.
Okay. When you think it is spicy enough, add some more spice. And then a little more on top of that, please.
I see. We have heat level here. Very well. I will give you the specialty, if we will.
I think I'll have the
Appreciate.
same as the last. And keep it
Very well.
spicy.
Two
Yes,
teas.
excuse me.
What?
I'm
Oh,
also here.
well, hello there. Sorry about that. You're just right up behind the bar there.
Yes, yes.
Let me bring out a towel chair for you as well to that table. Is there anything I
would
can
work.
interest you in?
What else do you have for a drink?
Ah, well, we have all manner of stuff. One of our specialties here is our storm brew. It is quite eccentric and electrifying.
Storm,
Oh, we-
that sounds interesting.
We do also have some, I believe, Volantis from Certus itself. You're wanting something from, I believe, your home?
Well, that's very accommodating, but I will try the storm brew.
Very well. Storm brew it is.
Also,
Any food for
do
you?
you have a small piece of bread? Yes.
Small bread. You got it.
All right. I will wait for my chair at the table. I'm dying to lay my crossbow down.
All right, the food will be right out. We'll grab drinks first, and then food will be out shortly after. Yeah. Welcome. And kind of turns and helps some other patrons before going and getting everything set up for your food to come out shortly. As you all kind of make your way to the table here, the bustling kind of ambiance kind of just fills the space as you hear different laughter and different conversations happening, and just kind of a jovial time as people here within the city of Elandor are taking a bit of breaks or relaxation from a hard day's work and whatnot. You eventually arrive at the table shortly after. A larger chair is brought over for Maldorwen there, so you can share the eyesight with the rest of the group here as you all kind of sit down at the table.
So what brings you here?
My feet. And him. She points at
Euan.
Euan.
Fails at holding back a giggle snort. A little wisp of smoke kind of comes out of his nostril as he pulls out a long stem pipe and starts to pack it with pipe tobacco that smells lightly of juniper, cedar, and a little bit of vanilla. I'm simply searching for, say, a place to lay my head down.
Well, a inn is a good place. Yeah, it's what? I am Rhukkarrak. I hail from far north. What are your names?
My name is Euan. I don't really come from anywhere right now except to the southeast. We've traveled our way up here. Can't remember where from, but made our way here and wasn't too bad.
I am Asja. I came from the Desert Shade Woods with him.
Desert shade, so you come from the west. I mean, the east of here, right?
Yes. The East.
I haven't been east. I've traveled a lot to the west and north, but never been in that far. This is the farthest south east that I've been.
This is the furthest in any direction I have ever been, so it's good.
Euan takes a long drag of his pipe. Been a bit from everywhere. Came down from the northwest. Probably around last year. Made my way down to the southeast of the Desert Shade Woods with a small traveling party looking for the ruins of a city down there. But and here we are now. Ran into some trouble and this one helped take care of me.
That's when he met me. Hello.
I have been traveling around trying to find a solution for the massive amounts of death energy that are at my home city. Trying to find a way to clear it. I don't suppose either of you know anything about that.
I do.
You do?
I do.
Do you know how to manipulate it and get rid of it?
None. I do know how to deal with it, but I don't know how to deal with it on big scale like city. I guess that is the same thing that I am looking for, is maybe a way to clean my city. Also is filled with death energy, and to do something I need to do, I also need to figure out how to make clean.
That is a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do you have any leads, information to start this?
No. This is one of the reasons I leave, is to figure out how to do this.
Well, I have maybe a lead here, but we shall see.
And here are your drinks. As Lennon comes up to the table, hands out the 2 teas, a large storm brew, which looks comically large in front of Maldorwen, and then some cinder cider over to Rhukkarrak. The food might take a little bit longer. It's quite busy in here tonight. Hopefully you understand. We'll try to get it out as soon as possible. Enjoy, though, and if you need anything else, just let me know. Turns around and goes back to the bar.
Well, thank you very much. And here I would like to maybe propose a toast for safe travels, as it seems like we all went through quite a bit to be here. And he'll take his storm brew with both hands and lift it in front of him as far as he can, so to reach the others. Probably even standing on the stool.
Euan
Yeah.
raises glass to safe travels.
Asja will watch what the rest of them are doing and lift her glass up. Yes. Tink.
Right. Mal, by the way, won't take a drink of his storm brew. Rather, he will reach out for his bolt case and take what looks like a crossbow bolt, but it's actually a straw, and he's using it to drink. It seems to be hollowed out.
As the strange kind of bubbling liquid kind of touches your tongue for the first time, it's quite electrifying as it kind of sends a jolt through your system. Not painfully in any regards, just kind of brings you to alertness quite quickly as it kind of numbs your tongue for a moment. It doesn't taste bad. It has a little quite bitter taste to it, but you could see that it would be an acquired taste to some.
Oof. How's your drink, Dentes?
He's sipping at it.
It is quite warm as the cinder cider kind of brings like a warmth to your chest as you're drinking it, more so than other alcohol seems to do. It's nice spice to it, kind of like a cinnamon, and it's pretty good. It's a little warm for your liking, but still good.
Yes, it is probably not going to be a regular drink, but it is not bad. Maybe occasionally. Would you like it to try a sip?
Yes, why not? And I'll take my straw. Grab a sip of his drink.
What do you think of it?
Interesting. It seems like... I don't know. It's an acquired taste, for sure. Both of them are, I would say. What do you think? Asja? Right?
What do I think of what? I think of many
your
things.
drink.
Oh, my tea is good.
Oh,
It is
right,
warm.
you asked for tea.
Mhm.
Yep, tea is pretty basic, but it's nice and soothing.
We don't have many, I think I heard you say in common before, alcohol? We don't have alcohols really where I come from. We have not had the time to create them yet. So it makes my head very bubbly. I don't like it very much.
Yes, it's usually a good idea to not indulge too much.
No, at
Yes.
festivals and special times, go ahead. Bubbly head is a good time. But every day for your head to be bubbly like that, I would think it would be difficult for people to function.
Yes.
Euan has been silent this time. Looks strangely dignified as he's sitting up tall and proud with his little teacup in his hand, taking a small sip. His eyes sort of go around to each of the people and land on Maldorwen's headdress for a little bit of time. You're from Keratos?
Ah, I see you know my people. You seem a peculiar fellow. I've seen Drakthir, never a green one, though.
The fates decided I should be different, so here I am. But yes, I've had a small run-in with some Keratasi gnomes here in the past. Good folk. I have a lot of respect for them.
I was gonna say, you definitely haven't been in Kertas recently. I would remember you.
Yeah, I haven't been in Keratos. My traveling companions, probably about a year ago at this point in time, ran into a small group of Keratasi gnomes that were embroiled in battle with a beastie, and we were able to help them out so they could take care of it and share the meal afterwards. It was quite nice.
No, you were traveling and saw gnomes. Kertusi gnomes, are you sure?
Aye. At least that's what they said. I would assume they were lying to me.
Interesting. Do you remember where you saw them?
DM, this is going to be a question for you. Do I remember exactly where that was?
Go ahead and roll a survival check for me.
It's a natural one.
Oh no.
Oh!
Just recently, your memories have just been quite foggy. Maybe looking at a map or something would help. But yeah, currently you're like, I don't know, somewhere in the shifting sand sea.
I apologize. It's somewhere in the shifting sand sea. That's about all I remember it. I'm still healing from some injuries, so my mind's a little fuzzy at the moment.
I see. Well, I don't want to press you too much. Then...
And here is your food. As Len brings over 3 large plates with 1 small roll. The steaming, smoked leviathan. It smells fantastic. 2 of which have this nice, warm, kind of bubbling sauce, reddish sauce on it, as he places those ones in front of both Euan and Asja, who asked for the spicy spice, and then slides the other one without the specialty sauce on it to Rhukkarrak, and then places the small little roll in front of Maldorwen. Are you sure you don't want anything else other than this?
Well, I already have my meal of the day, so I am quite full. But if you wouldn't mind, and he's gonna look towards Yuan and Asya, he'll say, perhaps you will allow me to dip my bread in the sauce?
You can do. No problem.
Well, enjoy the
It's
meal,
always good.
and let me know if you need anything.
It was Euan, right? I don't suppose one of these maps around the room here would jog your memory.
It might. And Euan will stand up, leaning fairly heavily on his halberd as he limps over to one of the maps that shows kind of the shifting sand sea and some of the surrounding areas, and begins to look to see if he can pinpoint where he was when he saw this.
Okay. You kind of recall the last yearish of your life and the travel that you had. And you remember coming all the way down from Florignis, which is in the northern, northwest of the continent here. And you made your way pretty much, not straight, but close to it, to the Desert Shade Woods, which is in the southeast. And so you kind of just do a little bit of a line there in your head of where you think you would have been. Kind of remember, it was only a few months after you left Florignis that you encountered these Kurtuzi gnomes. And so things lining up there, probably a little bit north of the elven capital of Valtari, which you didn't ever go to. But just kind of the northeast of that a bit. Somewhere in that direction. It's hard to pinpoint any specific location, though, as the maps themselves aren't super detailed. Because it's hard to get a detailed map of the shifting sand sea as it shifts between the seasons.
So he'll sort of mumble to himself, see, from Florignis down here, it's about 3 months in. Probably somewhere around here, and he'll point out the location on the map, and turn around to see everybody's still sitting at the table at the moment, and he's just kind of there pointing at a map on the wall.
Luckily, this table's right next to the wall, so you're good.
Convenience.
Well, seeing as
Interesting.
I don't have a big plate there with in front of me, just gonna move my bread to the side for a moment, and I'll take out a scroll case and a scroll with a map, and I'll kind of look at where Euan is pointing and take some notes and say, northwest of Kertash to the northeast of Valtari. Interesting.
Maldorwen, as you're kind of pondering on that, go ahead and roll a nature check for me.
Nature check. Yes.
Roll better than I did.
Oh my god, I'll try, but we'll see. Oh my god. Just a sec, sorry.
No worries.
I had the wrong link opened. Let's see. There you are. Okay. Nature. Ooh, okay.
That's much better.
Nice.
Awesome.
19.
19.
19 total, perfect. So as you kind of just are, you're somewhat of a cartographer yourself, right? As you've spent a decent amount of time with maps and looking over this area, kind of. Yet again, Euan's kind of just showing the general area. Like the Shifting Sand Sea is very large. Like it took you 2 months to travel like a smaller portion of it. But you know this area specifically does house creatures known as bullets, larger kind of reptilian, fire and earth elemental creatures that are known for their gem hearts. That's kind of are quite valuable and just produce heat.
So, Euan, you said they were fighting a beast.
Aye,
bullet,
that was
perhaps?
correct. I think one of
Large,
them did say something about like that.
I see. Well, part of the reason I left Kertash is that I'm looking for my brother, Okulpalam. I haven't seen him for a year or over a year perhaps now. And I am just trying to find out where he is and what he is up to.
Do you mind repeating the name for me?
Okulpalam, my brother?
If memory serves me correctly, that is the That's the name of the gnome that I spoke with after the fight.
Are you sure? Was he wearing a helmet?
Aye, much like yours,
mine,
in fact.
perhaps. Hmm. Well, it seems like perhaps I'm on the right track, even though, well, it looks quite far away from here, from Arlitage. Oh,
Euan, what time were you in that area? I've been out that way.
It would have been about a year ago, before the change of the seasons. I spent probably the better part of 6 to 8 months to the southeast. So it was before that would have been the trek.
'Cause about that time, I was traveling between Floringis, Ignis, and Valtari. So
We could have
Were
been
you
there around
headed-
the same time.
were you headed to Valtari as well?
No, we were headed straight down to Desert Shade Woods looking for the ruins of Mithrandel.
Ah, that would explain why I did not see you on the road.
well, that must mean that Okulpalam was traveling north. But it seems like I went in the wrong direction, but at least I met you, Juan. And if you're sure that was my brother, then, well, perhaps he's still out there.
Perhaps, I can only hope. Tough bugger he was. But if you don't mind, I've got food sitting at the table and my stomach is going to start devouring me from the inside if I don't get something in it soon.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
I'll sit back
As
down.
as Rhukkarrak just starts digging into his food, because he's pretty hungry too.
Has Asja just been eating this whole time?
Oh yeah, I was just sat there eating. She has no worldly knowledge to add into this conversation, so she's like, "Ah, I have food. Nom 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 nom."
So yeah, as you sit back down, you look over on Asja's plate's nearly almost empty already. But this smoked leviathan is quite tasty. It's very, very tender. It has that kind of smoked flavor to it. And this sauce on top, for those of you that enjoy spice, is very, very spicy. It is like you're used to spice, and this is like some of the spiciest stuff you've had. It isn't overpowering, but it is very, very good.
Well, as you stops for, they join the table again. As you stops for a minute and just kind of pats her brow a little. You'd better eat. This is good food. I was so worried it would be bland. Nom, nom, nom.
Euan will just grab his utensil and start tucking in. And if a dragon could make happy grumbling noises, he is making them as he is shoveling this food in his face. Hey, this is delicious. I actually got the spice right.
Right? Delicious spice.
I need to see if I can get my hands on some of this.
I might need seconds. Did you still want sauce, Maldorwen? You might want to hurry. She slides her plate a little to share with him.
All right. And yeah, he'll take the bread and dip it in the sauce. Take a bite out of it.
Okay, as this sauce touches your tongue, it is like lava, molten lava in your mouth. It is so hot as you just immediately grab your drink and just start to down that, which helps a bit because it numbs your tongue. But it is so hot. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Con save, okay. Let's see. Ooh, okay, 11.
11. Okay, that just beats the DC, which was 10. As, like you like cough and almost spit a little bit of fire. Just it's like steam's coming out your ears. It is very, very hot, but quite tasty if you could taste, which you can't really with how hot it is.
Yeah, he'd kind of just like smile and do a thumbs up at Asja. Maybe nodding a little bit.
Starting to sweat profusely.
Rhukkarrak seemed kind of interested in their dish until he saw Maldorwen's reaction, and he just goes back to his own food.
Which
Just
the smoked Leviathan without the sauce is still pretty spicy and even a little warm for your tastes. You've gotten a little bit used to the elven spices traveling for the last few months, and it's good. Just a little too hot. And so yeah, you see this and you're like, okay, yeah, I'll stay to mine.
Euan finishes his food, sort of leans back in his chair and puts a hand on his belly and just sighs contentedly and says, "That was delicious. Anybody want any more? I can do
I
in
do.
seconds."
I do.
I hate what you want, little one.
Well, last time we had the seafood. Can we have land food this time?
Land food it is. And he'll make his way back over to Lennon. Order some more food.
Is there something else I can get you?
See, we had the seafood the last time. Little lady wants the land food this time. And I'll also take some. Whatever that may be.
food. Right.
Keep it spicy. Keep it
You
spicy.
got
The
it.
spice was excellent. And if the chef would be willing to part with a little bit of the sauce, I would be willing to buy some just to keep on my person.
We'll see. She's a little particular about recipes, but I'll ask. Land food, though. Sure, we'll get that right over. Just 2 plates?
All right, 2 plates.
Very well.
And he'll make his way back, sit down, take another sip of his tea.
Euan, as Euan sits back down, another individual starts to approach the table. Another kind of taller, not as tall as Baylor you met previously, but elven, feminine figure kind of steps forward, her sea green eyes reflecting the weight of battles fought and alliances forged. Her black hair is pulled back into a low bun, revealing a faint scar across her right cheek. She wears scratched armor that's well worn, the emblem of the Dawnward Sentinels, a sword that's pointing upwards with the sun behind it, etched into the chest piece. And as she kind of moves over, every movement she makes is deliberate, quite strength evident in her calm precision. And as she starts to speak, she speaks sparingly. Her presence kind of commands respect, not only as a seasoned warrior, but also as someone who understands the intricate workings of city politics and diplomacy. I see we have some new faces over here. Welcome in. Any of you all look like the traveler type, adventurers. Any of you Dawnward Sentinels, by chance?
Oh, yes, I am fairly new to the order, and he'll go into his satchel on his side and pull out a little pin that matches her sigil and place it on the table.
I see. I'm glad to hear. We've been quite understaffed recently. Just you? Kind of
yes.
looks towards the others.
I do not do mornings, so I don't watch the sunrise. Sorry.
You just see like a confusion cross her face. Right. Well, you all look fairly capable, and I would love an extra pair of hands. there's the Tide chapter in town, just past the Tidebone markets. I don't want to burden you too much, if this is just your entrance to the city, as my informants tell me. Rest up, get some good rest, but I would love to see you in the morning if you could possibly stop by. There's a lot of things that could use able hands. And it'd be a shame to put skills to waste. But
Well,
I'll be there most all the morning.
I was already planning on checking in the morning anyway, so that works out for me.
Good to hear. And she kind of makes eye contact with all of you, other than, well, Maldorwen, who can't really make eye contact, but more or less, before giving a nod. Please, do come by. And departing.
I, for one, would be interested in what she has to say.
But I don't understand. Why does the sun going up in the sky need someone to watch it?
I think it
Why
was just
do they
an
not have
expression.
enough people to do this?
I think it was just an expression, sort of like a blessing.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
no. The Sentinels are a group of peacekeepers that are in this kingdom. They help out to make sure that everyone is kept safe.
Okay. In this time, much like last time, the captain looked confused. This time, Asja's the one that seems to get a really confused look on her face. And she just leans back and sips her tea.
The captain kind of strolls back over. I am terrible at introductions. My name, Captain Terran Graves. Apologies. Ask for me. If I'm not there, I'll be there. Walks away.
Oh, well, I guess that would be good to know. But other than tomorrow, what plans do you guys have here in town?
I think a good night's rest, maybe a bath, would be in the cards for me tonight.
Sleep, bath, maybe look around the city a bit. I don't have a plan.
Well, I don't have much planned for the city here as well. Mal, if you want, we could just finish up the few things here and then head north. I don't think we could be able to make it this year, or maybe we will be able to make to Carthus or Valentry.
Valtari?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. If he was heading north, then he would have time to go very far away, so I don't know if we can catch up to him. Also, after this season is over, it's gotta be Embervale. We would need a very safe means of travel to be out there when it is scorching hot in the desert dunes.
True. If you want to stay here for at least the dangerous season, that is fine. I just thought that you might want to. Anyway, but yes, there's probably plenty to do here.
Yes, we only
Actually, with
just
the
got
captain.
here. Let's see what else the city has to offer, aside from great food and curious drinks.
What are these places that the cities I've heard of, but what is this Fla
Florignas.
Florignis. Yes, thank you.
Yes, I spent the danger season there. It is the city of the gem elves. It is known for a gigantic tree in the middle that during the Ember Veil burst into flames. There's also some dryads and other creatures in the forest.
Gem.
Yes.
Kind of looks at Euan for a second and looks back at Rhukka. And how far travel to north is this city?
It is quite far. It took me probably at least a year to get there. Maybe it'd be very, very close with the travel seasons being relatively short. Maybe you will have to wait in Vartari for the danger season.
Well, that is very far, and I don't think that I have that much time. But I don't know if I have that much time, but I don't think I have as much time. I do not have enough time to travel a year up to talk to people who probably cannot. Okay, thank you, but I would like to go there sometime. I would. Sounds very much like my old city, but different kind of gem elf.
So you are a gem elf?
Yes. But I am different kind. I am not fire. We are more connected to... She taps at her necklace. Our crystals, they are more life. But if they are fire, they will not have what I am looking for. So, it's okay.
Interesting. That is very odd to be connected to the life element itself.
Not really. Maybe for you. For us, it's normal. Well.
In my travels, I have found connections to many of the base elements, but the life and death are always woven into everything and not really... Anyway. Just
we still very much are interconnected with the elements, but we are also very closely tied with the movements of our own time. If that makes sense to you.
Not really, but maybe it will become more clear in the future.
We have more sense of how long we will be here before our next adventure.
As the night goes on, that other meal does come out. Let's say you were eating that with this conversation. It was a cooked pyro scale that Asja, you're familiar with. It tasted quite good. We've had better, but this was still good. Not quite like what you do at your place, but a unique difference. As you all are kind of just sitting there, a couple drinks down, stomach full, and finally feeling that exhaustion start to doze into drowsiness now. Lennon kind of comes over and checks back up with you all. Looks like your meal's quite over. Anything else there? Or I heard one of you wanted to boarding for the night, yes? Or some stay?
I think we all need 2 sleeps for a night here.
I see. Well, we do have enough rooms for that. The meal here, it's going to be... He does a little bit of calculations. 3 silver for the food, and then for the drinks, another 2 silver on top of that. And then each room here is going to be 4 silver per night. And if you want to make it 6 silver, we actually throw in trip to the Celestial Springs Bathhouse. I know that's very popular with people coming in from a long journey.
Okay, just for clarification, I was 3 for food, 3 for drink,
And then
3 for a room, or 6 if you want the spa package included.
right. And Maldorwen, your food didn't cost 3 silver. Your food was like 2 copper.
Is it a cardboard box?
Still roll. Yeah.
Well, I think I'll take the bath for tonight, and actually I would probably be here at least a couple of days, so I'll just give you a gold for the next 2 nights.
All right.
Asja will very carefully open her pouch and pull out 1 gold and 2 silver.
I only pay for 1 night. We see what tomorrow brings. Here we go. But I would
Very
like
well.
baths, so I give you 6. 6.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was 1 gold for the lodging, on top of he already paid for the meal.
Funds are distributed. Won't need to get into the nitty-gritty details of that.
Euan would
Yeah.
also like a bath.
Um,
Feels like 3-week-old dragon right now, so
room keys are distributed along with a little, like, punch card that has a little hot spring looking like thing with some steam. The Celestial Springs on it. They're just down the street from here. We do business with them. Would recommend. It's very soothing. But if you need anything else, have a night hankering for anything, just let me know. I'll be here most of all evening. Thanks again for your patronage here at the Flamin' Flagon, and hopefully you are enjoying your initial stay here, and will do so in the future as well. With that,
any
turns-
word on that hot sauce that the chef
Right.
made for us?
You know what? Let me actually send her out here, and that way you can speak to her yourself and maybe try to convince her. We'll see. I'm sure she would love to hear the feedback on the food as well. Let me go grab.
Maybe I can offer Grandma's pyro scale recipe. Her pyro scale was a little bit dry. Don't tell her that, she might get upset.
Is that the
But
one that
maybe-
you made when we took down the pyro scale?
Mm-hmm. That was my grandma's
was-
recipe.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. My grandma was the cook.
Maybe you keep that one close to your chest, just in case we need it for a bargaining chip.
Well, I do have some of the herbs and spices from... Maybe we offer herbs and spices. And we also promise that we won't break down what's in her sauce. We just want the sauce for consumption, not study, right?
Correct.
Right.
So I can
So
put it
we-
on like everything.
Exactly. I wonder
You-
what it would taste like on one of the good berries.
Might have to try that later for a midnight snack.
Oh, it sounds good to me.
A few moments pass before a kind of burly black dragthier kind of walks from the kitchen. Large apron, kind of adorned with a few smudges and stains. They're not super messy, but they've been working quite busily as this place is quite rowdy tonight. They kind of come on over.
Is this the table that likes the food and wants my sauce?
Aye, that would be me. And the little one here.
Why are you
Hello.
green?
I asked him
Magic.
the same question. He said it was not easy.
I see.
That is also correct.
Very well. If it suits ya. Just, sorry, oddity. Marley Scalefoot. This is the head chef here. You're looking
Your
to...
food was quite excellent, and the spice factor was just
Glad to hear.
right where it needed to be.
A lot of the time when you tell people make spicy and then add more when you think you've added enough, they don't add enough afterwards. You added just the right amount. It was very delicious. Both servings.
Aye. I come from the higher class Isles, and we love our spice there. So you want some of my sauce, eh?
Aye.
What are your intentions with my sauce?
To eat it.
To put it on everything that I consume for the next 6 months.
I see.
Asja will go down into her backpack and she'll pull out a few pouches.
So we have things we could trade to you. We have,
And she opens one with just that bright red powder, like, hot powder that
I have some of this.
And she opens another pouch, and there's a very small, dwindling little piece of what looks like a fruit leather with perhaps some bug bits in it. You're not too sure.
This is good and spicy too.
And then she just opens up a few pouches that have a few, like, so there's some of the rice, like the wild rice, and she kind of...
I know your islands. We have people that come through my settlement from your islands, but I am from Desert Shitwood, so maybe some of these you can't get very easily here. I don't. I just want to eat your sauce every day.
Both of you go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Ooh, no advantage after all those compliments? Wow.
Sorry, I'm sure we'll get somewhere with my -1 to persuasion.
It's okay. I've got a +4.
Oh no.
Non-natural one.
20.
Dirty 20 and a dirty 1. That's funny.
Sorry, Asja is laying on the big puppy dog eyes. Like, I really want your... all the charisma's coming out,
Euan is trying to smile, but it looks like he's just very grumpy right now.
Her eyes kind of just keep darting over Euan, just weird curiosity filling them. And kind of back to you, Asja, as you kind of pull out all these knickknacks and treats and snacks and whatnot from a variety of different things you've cooked in the past.
Oh, you sweet little thing. It's fine. I'll give you some sauce. It's gonna cost you, though. It's not easy to make. We'll say gold piece per bottle.
I'll take 3.
I match his
Yeah,
3, please.
I will always
Alright.
take one if you don't mind.
Is that so, little one?
You did like it. Ugh, I knew you did. I thought those were tears. It must have just been a good sweat. See, isn't it good for you? Gets you all detoxed. The sweat comes out. Lovely.
Oh, those were tears of joy.
Oh,
I have not known the gnomes to like spice very well.
Kind of stomps back to the kitchen.
Euan presses B to doubt.
Asja will slowly put back all of the pouches into her backpack.
Now the
You all
most
can-
important question. Is this like a magical item, Starfish?
Maybe.
Like, how should we write it down?
Great, we're in a combat. Somebody uncorks the hot sauce and chucks it in.
Have Rhukkarrak coat his daggers like a poison.
Yeah. Lennon brings out the bottles, and you can just write in your items Marley's hot sauce. That's Marli with an S. Marley's hot sauce. All right. Well, as the night fully has kind of settled here, you can see the different lantern flickers outside as the chandelier is also inside warm and lighten this interior. But it is currently nighttime. And you all do feel that exhaustion starting to seep in. But a bath sounds amazing currently.
Well, I'm going to go take my stuff up to room and then go down the street. First, I will ask Lennon whether I go left or right when I get to the street, and I will go that way and I will find the bathhouse because I smell like a dragon who hasn't bathed for 3 weeks either.
Well, I will actually do the same. I will see you all later.
Bye.
Yeah. He's gonna go ahead and get his stuff and head to his room. Drop it off.
Maldorwen, are you coming for bath too?
Yes, it sounds like a good idea. I need to wash my uniform.
Sound. Maybe they have laundry there. That is a good idea. She's gonna grab her stuff, but she is going to go over to the bar. Lennon, you said we need to go outside to street, but when we get to street, do we go left way or right way?
Oh, just take a right. They got
Thank
signs
you.
and whatnot. You'll be able to find it.
That's what you think. And she walks away.
If not, just come back.
I can do that.
I'll go find and make sure that she follows directions. I also need the bath anyway, so I'll drop my stuff off at the room and then follow Asja to the bathhouse. Make sure she gets there all right.
Yeah, as you all kind of drop your stuff off, the rooms are not anything phenomenal. I mean, it's a nice plush bed though, which is a luxury that you all have sorely missed in the last several months. You're going to be sleeping good tonight. They're not super large, but still very comforting. Drop your stuff off.
I don't know what you mean, Starfish. The room is huge. The bed is huge.
It's the largest bed that Maldorwen's ever seen in his life.
He can't even get on top of it. He's like, trying to jump up.
Somebody get that man a step ladder.
No, it's funny. They actually have accommodations. They have a little step stool that you can get up.
Whereas Euan's wondering, like, when did I move into adult?
Yeah.
It's 7 feet.
It's a little cramped.
But as you all kind of drop your stuff off and then reconvene at the Celestial Springs Bathhouse, right as you enter the doors, we're going to take a quick intermission here. We're going to pick up right where we just left off, right as the party here enters the Celestial Springs Bathhouse for the first time. Get some nice needed bath. So as you step through the archway of the Celestial Springs Bathhouse, a wave of calm washes over you. The soft shimmer of ember glass in the stone walls catch the light, and the air is warm, scented with herbs and mist. A gentle breeze brushes your skin as if welcoming you. Attendants offer soft towels and enchanted slippers with practiced grace. The sound of flowing water echoes faintly through the hall. Ahead, the elemental pools beckon. Flame flickers harmlessly on the surface of one, while soft winds kind of blow and ripple across another, scattering a couple flower petals. And you already feel the weight of your journey easing slightly. The promise of peace and renewal lingering in the air.
Are there male and female baths, or are we expected to all bathe together?
There are private baths if you will. There is also just communal bathhouses here. There's 4 large elemental pools that kind of are indicative of each element to cater to everyone's preferences. So like I was saying, you can see one that has like a small like flickering flames that just kind of dance along the water's edge. One that has a more deeper bluish in color that just kind of radiates almost water energy, and one that also is aligned with earth. Currently, the rooftop of the bathhouse is open, and you can start to see, as the sun has fully set, the stars in the sky start to glimmer and come to life, as just beyond the vantage point, the large elemental planet of Earth, Terradin, is visible in the sky as well, due to the season being stone hollow.
Well, this is I originally thought that 3 copper for the 3 silver was a bit expensive, but I have never experienced anything like this.
It's quite beautiful, isn't it?
Very
Yes.
different from home.
Rhukkarrak is going to be
same.
drawn. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm done.
I say, Rhukkarrak is going to be drawn to the deep blue pool.
Okay. As you step in, you can just feel it's a little cooler than you were initially thinking, but that coolness kind of is comforting to begin with, as you kind of wade in and the cool water kind of laps around you. You just take a deep exhalation of breath and just kind of rest your eyes for a moment, soothing all those aches and sores from walking miles upon miles each day.
Euan would make his way over to the fire elemental aligned pool, and will take care removing the hides and furs and garments that he is wearing. The only thing that does not come off is a wooden bracelet around his wrist. And if any of the party was paying attention, they would notice that the scar that runs down the length of his torso goes much further than initially thought, ending almost down at his knee. Same knotted scar sort of traveling down his chest and down his thigh and everything else. And it looks like it almost runs into another scar closer to his hip, which may explain the limp and the utilization of his halberd as a walking stick or a crutch, before he makes his way into the pool and just sinks down as far as he can into it. I'm assuming it won't fully cover him. But yeah.
Not fully. There are different tiers. If you wanted to get further down, it could come up to like your neckline almost. And it is...
That would be where he's at.
Yeah, very steaming hot. Very different from the water-aligned pool over there. This water is very, very warm, as the flames, harmless in nature, kind of flicker, but just add to the ambiance and warmth here that you just feel, fueling that inner flame.
And a strange note, for those that are incredibly perceptive, his scales seem to glisten a little brighter now that he's in water.
Attendants come and take any clothing that is left out, as they will launder it as you are bathing and clean it all up, included within the little bit of a trial run here from the Flamin' Flagon.
Asja will go over to a bench and take off her clothes and most of her jewelry, but much like Euan, her necklace, she keeps that on. And she kind of folds her clothes and hands them to the attendant. And what you notice, finally, is she will reach up around behind her neck and she pulls out this blue lizard with wings. Okay. It's time to go for a swim. You choose water. What temperature? And she puts him down on the deck and waits for the little blue lizard to go and kind of put a little feeler in each of the pools and choose which one is the right temperature. And then she will go and sink into that pool and place the lizard on her head and just kind of sink herself as much under the water so that she's down so that Rupert on her head feels like he's on like a little boat or something like that.
Yep,
We'll
we'll
just
say,
have a playful little bath.
Rupert kind of walks quickly to some of the other ones, kind of sticking out his tongue, trying to ascertain the other ones, and then kind of runs back over and just tries to go and hop on Euan's head.
Spicy bathtub. Okay. She goes in the fire bathtub then.
Euan will conjure some good berries and offer one to Rupert as a little treat.
He quickly snatches it up and just starts chewing on it, with a semblance of a grin kind of showing on his reptilian-like face.
I think he finally is starting to like me.
I think so too. Please don't influence him too much though.
I'll try my best.
He's still very young and impressionable. Much like me.
That's very true. I'll be on my best behavior.
I know you will. I was more talking to him.
He jumps off of Yuan and walks over and then jumps on your head.
Mm-hmm.
What bath does Maldorwen choose in this bathhouse?
I think he would go to the earth pool, to the earth aligned pool, just because it seems thematically fitting with Tavern in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And he will probably be like observing the planets above, especially Tavern, and kind of taking notes mentally. He's probably still like wearing some sort of toga or something, or towel, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only like sitting on the edge of the pool and getting his feet wet, maybe paddling a little bit. And yeah.
Yeah, the water...
trying to also like... Yeah.
The water within the earth pool is very kind of almost viscous. It still looks very clean, but it just almost has more weight to it. And you can see in the reflection, Tavern in the sky is starting to almost reflect perfectly off of the water surface as well.
As they're just kind of all paddling about, but in the same area of the pools. How everybody else's pool? This one's nice and warm if you want to get warm.
Oh, this one suits me well. It's a little chilly, but so relaxing.
This was a good choice before bedtime. How about you, Maldorwen? How are your feet feeling?
I'm wondering if I'm light enough to stand in the surface of these without sinking.
But it's water, not You would think it's water, wouldn't you? What do you
I
mean?
don't know. This water feels different. Wanna dip your feet? Here. It's weird.
She'll get out of the fire pool and walk over to the earth pool and just kind of plunge on in and see what he's talking about.
So as you plunge on in, you're met with quite a bit of resistance as the water kind of braces a lot more viscous than the other pool you were just in, where the water was much more free. It kind of almost embraces you in like a sturdy hug almost, as it settles pretty quickly, almost like a weighted blanket in this space. The
You're
temperature isn't super hot, isn't super cold. Just right.
This is very weird water. You are very right. It feels I feel like somebody is hugging me in a blanket right now. It's very strange. Maybe you could walk on it. Rupert, maybe you could walk on it.
Rupert
She
kinda
takes
just
the lizard
puts
off her head. You want to try? I make sure to catch you.
Gives like a curious little side eye, the little mischievous almost grin as it kind of like puts a hand out to stand on the water.
Okay. She's gonna hold him and just kind of, okay. You put hand out. Does it feel solid? Good.
He kind of puts his hand out to. He then tries to just kind of wiggle free of your grasp and jump out of the water. As he does so, he manages to stay afloat for a moment as he starts to sink roughly and starts to freak out a little bit and
Can I try
sprain
and
a
do
little bit of the
something?
water. Yeah, what would you like to do?
So as he's sinking, I would try and like blow and doing some hand gestures. I try to cast Gust
Okay.
at Rupert to try and help him get across.
Okay, so with that, the winds from Maldorwen kind of pick up underneath Rupert's wings, and he kind of almost starts to flutter the wings slightly as he then lands on the other side of the pool, and doesn't actually sink. It almost, the water almost looked like viscous mud to a degree, as he kind of skittered across it with the help of the gust. Like his feet sinking in slightly. It's not quite as like... It's not like mud where the footprints would stay there. It settles back down into water. It's weird.
It's more like when you mix cornstarch and water.
Kind
So
of,
if you
yeah.
go fast enough, it kind of stays solidish. But if you stay still, you just sink right in.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that. All right. Well, she will kind of go over to the other side and put Rupert back on her head. Well, that was a good try. And then look at him. I don't think you could walk on it. If Rupert needed a bit of help, well, you're much bigger than even Rupert, so... Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm faster than Rupert. You don't know that.
Well, you could be faster than Rupert, but... And you did say you wanted to wash your clothes, and seeing as you did not take your clothes off to give to attendant to wash your clothes, I assume you're going to get in the water in your clothes.
Well,
So I guess
did give
try.
them my uniform.
Oh, okay.
This is just my underwear. I think I want to switch over to one of the other pools, perhaps. This one is weird.
This one is very weird. I want to get out of the hug now. Yes, I don't like it.
He'll offer a hand for you to get out if you want.
She will take it and
Go ahead and make a strength check. You're trying to help Asja, and it's quite resistant. Like, even moving in this pool, you have to do so. It strains against the muscles.
Oh no, is this the way we die?
I'm sure an attendant would help you out if you really need it.
Oh no!
So
They have
what
to-
happens here?
To hire burly lifeguard just for the earth pool.
What happens is you grab Asja's hand and you start to try to pull her out, and you just don't expect that much resistance, and you pull yourself in. So you gotta fly towards, you gotta land on top of the little bit of the water there and start to slowly sink down yourself.
I'll say, oh no.
Oh no!
The two of
Yeah,
you
I'll
like
look
some
at-
help?
Asja will hold out
yes,
a hand.
please.
You take my hand. I hold you. Yes, please help.
Oh, I can help too.
This water is very strange. Don't get in this water. It's bad water.
Euan will make his way over. Would probably be better with the two of us, Rhukkarrak, if you'd like to help still.
Yes. And
We'll
he'll get out and move over with him.
Offer a hand to whoever wants to grab it.
You go first, Maldorwen. It's okay.
All right.
I don't think
Yes.
you wanted to get wet in the first place.
I don't know how my toga will get if it touches this water, so please, before I sink. Yeah, I'll grab you and send.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say,
Rhukkarrak will.
By the way,
assist.
he's like 40 pounds, so
just pulls your arm off. Whoops.
cheat him up.
If I roll too high, I'm just gonna chuck you out the window.
He flies from the earth pool to the air pool. There we go.
First
Yeah.
astronaut.
I believe I can fly.
Gnomes in space. No, that's a different kind of game. Sorry.
All right, just go ahead and make a strike check just to see. Like,
Right.
this is doable. You don't really need to roll for it, but we're gonna see how what
Right.
you.
Rhukkarrak is helping, so do you want that advantage?
Yeah.
21.
Very nice. So yeah, as you saw this transpire where Maldorwen tried to pull Asja out and then got pulled in himself. So you kind of bear down Rhukkarrak and you both grab onto Maldorwen's hand and just pull him out quite easily, and he just goes flying past you for about his lands on the tile ground there. Very easily done. Yeah. You can still move through this water, but with Maldorwen's smaller complexion, trying to pull someone out was not as feasible and easy. Honestly, I think you can make your way over and get out if you want. It's not like you're stuck in here. It just takes a
I
little
know.
bit of effort.
I am tired, though. They can help. She holds up her hands.
Round 2, fight!
Yeah.
You
Rhukkarrak
guys don't need a roll for this one.
Come on,
Just-
it's arm day.
Oh, okay.
It's arm
Never
day.
mind.
Let's go.
23.
Easily enough. Hoist Asja right out of the water. And
Give her a little shake so she dries off a little.
Flip her out like a towel.
Now I am cold. Back to fire pool. Back to fire pool.
Is the right idea. I'm going to go back to the fire pole. It feels nice on my muscles. Just going to sink back into the fire pole, back all the way down to like his neckline again.
Yeah. Rhukkarrak's going back to the water pool.
yep. As it is very therapeutic. As it almost numbs. Kind of like a ice bath, right? Like it's good for you. And it also kind of reminds you a little bit of home and the cold that you haven't felt in a long time, being down here in the southern parts of Aruthar. But you all finish up your bath here, manage to get some nice, needed relaxation. And eventually you dry off, your clothes are given back to you, all nicely pressed and cleaned, and then you make your way back to the Flame and Flagon, where your rooms are on the second floor. You kind of go back up to them, and, well, it's decently late in the night now. Is there anything anyone wants to do before you all kind of take a proper rest?
After they get back, Asja is going to go to her room and go to her backpack and pick out one of the little pouches of snacks and go over to Euan's door and knock, knock, knock. I brought snacks. Time for midnight snack? Bedtime snack? Snack time. Knock, knock, knock. Snack time. Knock, knock, knock.
There is a little bit of commotion in the room, a thump as he trips over a chair, trying to get to the door quickly because he could fancy a snack right now. And a quick curse in very old language. And then the door opens as he's kind of holding his bad leg up and rubbing one of his toes.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright. I should have paid more attention. But snacks. You brought the snacks. I still have good berries and hot sauce.
Okay, perfect. And she was in. So, I didn't want to ask with the new people because, they might think I'm a little not so smart. What is peacekeeper? How does someone who is guard keep peace? Don't guards usually not keep peace? Don't they make sure that peace happen? Yes, but it's not like... Could you explain this concept?
I think the term peacekeeper means someone who ensures that peace remains for the greater populace, the greater number of people. Because there are people in this world who are not good. We have both dealt with that in our lifetimes. And the guardsmen, the peacekeepers, are the one who keep those people at bay, so the people in the cities, in the settlements, can continue living in peace. While
They are
handle
like
the brunt of everything.
protectors.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Okay. Then I think that it will be no problem for me to help them. Okay, as long as it's not like soldier kind of things, then we're okay.
No, I don't
From
think...
what you say, it sounds very similar to what the person that sent me on mission wants me to kind of look into anyway. So I think this is... Thank you for answers. She takes a good berry, dips it a little in this hot sauce. But now I am tired. But I wanted to ask that question over snacks.
Of course. Besides,
Okay.
we have to have our snacks.
That's very true. All right. I see you in the morning.
See you in
Bye-bye.
the morning. Good night.
Good night. Oh, do one favor. Try not to burn down Tavern.
I will do my best. I don't have the
Okay.
sniffles this time.
That's good. And she closes the door and goes to her room and goes to bed.
And you roll up one of the fruit leathers, just dip it in the sauce, and just chow down.
Rhukkarrak is going to hang out in his room a little bit, and then when he's relatively confident that everyone else is settled in their rooms, he is going to head downstairs and talk to Lennon, bartender.
Okay.
Excuse me, Lennon.
Oh, yes. Can I get you anything?
No, just wanting a little bit of information. Where in the city is the commerce district, or?
Oh, right. Kind of everywhere. The main thoroughfare, though, is the Tideborn markets, and they're going to be closer towards the Gulf itself. Couple-minute ferry ride away. You can also just take the side roads as well, if you would like.
And do they have any alchemists there?
I have everything, my friend. Anything that you really only need. All kinds of alchemists, several different merchants of... Really, if you have something you're looking for, I'm sure you'll be able to find it. Anything in particular?
Excellent. No, just I mean, I could use a few healing potions and other things, but I think I'll go see what they have at this. You said Tidewall Market?
A Tideborn.
4. Okay.
Yes, it's literally like on the Gulf itself. Most of the markets themselves are actually just trader ships that come in and stay during the harsh, and then trade and do commerce before leaving again once the calm arises. It's quite busy this time of year, because the last few voyages and individuals are coming in before the primal barrier goes up.
What? I don't suppose you know of a... I think they call themselves a Veiled Alchemist in that area?
Veiled Alchemist. Oh, there's so many shops. I believe... Rings a bell. I believe there's a shop called the Veiled Crucible. I don't know if that would be what you're looking for.
That would probably be a good place to start. Is that also at this market?
Yes, that's actually a little bit more of a structure built within the city, but it's right alongside the markets itself.
Okay, well, I think I'll go take a look. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And he's gonna head out.
Okay. As you head out into the cooler night air kind of wraps around you. The city has definitely died down quite a bit. Getting decently late into the evening. The moon shining brightly in the sky alongside Terradon. But you kind of start to make your way in that direction. Go ahead and just make an investigation check for me as you walk along the city. Trying to see if you can find what you're looking for.
Hello? Click button.
There it goes.
Roll dice. 11 total.
Okay. So the city is quite large. It's not nearly as large as Valtari, the elven capital, that you stayed in for a couple months. But it is still quite winding with the canals kind of going through everything. You have to cross over several bridges, and sometimes you have to like turn around because the actual sidewalk here itself kind of just ends abruptly and it's just water in front of you.
He doesn't want to waste too much time. He'd take a boat or a ferry.
Okay. Then yeah, if you they're a little bit fewer and far between this time of night, but eventually you do kind of wave down one of the ferrymen who kind of nods and comes and picks you up and takes you towards, you just say, the Veiled Crucible? Or the Tideborn Market?
He would just add for the Tideboard Market.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. And yeah, starts to take you there. We'll say it'll be 5 copper for this trip, as you're a little bit more of the northern part of the city, where the Flaming Flagon is, and the Tideborn Market is like near the southern part of the city, where it actually opens up into the Gulf itself. As you arrive at the Tideborn Markets, the architecture here is a little more scattered and not nearly as elegant, as there's just kind of shops and different stalls, trading hubs, just kind of littered everywhere. There still is some people awake and about, but it's a little bit quieter. We'll just use that same investigation check as you kind of walk around. There's a row of different buildings that are built into the actual canal before it actually opens up into the Tidewater Market and the Morvian Gulf beyond. You kind of look across those and you do see a sign that says the Veiled Crucible.
Excellent. Does it look to be in business?
There's a little bit of a flame flickering on inside.
Excellent.
Yeah, a
Okay.
little candlelight. As you step in, the air shifts around you as you step into the Veiled Crucible. The faint scent of herbs and spices wrapping around you like a whispered promise. Lanterns outside flicker in hues of blue and orange, their glow fading as the door swings shut behind you. Shelves line the walls, packed with vials, jars, and bundles of dried plants. Some glowing faintly, others swirling with hidden energy. At the far end of the shop, behind a counter cluttered with intricate tools and steaming flasks, stands a feminine elven figure. Her amber eyes kind of catch the light like embers as she looks up towards you. Welcome in. It's a little late. What can I do for you?
Yes, I'm here for a couple of things. First of all, do you have any healing potions here? I'm a little low.
Well, of course. She kind of motions you to continue to step forward towards the counter as she kind of rummages through some of the back drawers and vials. So you hear different glass work kind of clang against each other as she pulls out a couple potions of healing. How many were you looking for?
Well, depending on the price, I would like to get 3, would be nice.
I see. Well, they run roughly 50 gold per for the common ones, and then we have the larger ones here that are a little more expensive. You're just looking for the basic?
Yeah, the basic should do for now.
All right. And 3 of those would be a total of 150 gold pieces.
That is much more than I have. Maybe just 1.
All right. I'm gonna put the other
Unless I
two.
could get some kind of deal.
What kind of deal are you looking for?
Well, it depends on if you are known as the Veiled Alchemist.
I do go by that name, yes.
Because I could potentially get a deal when the shadows stretch at dawn. Or the sun knows where to hide.
I see. And only the few know where to follow. I'm not sure if I can give you a deal right up front, but I do know where to point you. Down in the Taiwan markets, there's a tavern of sorts. It's a ragged old place, a boat that just kind of drifts between the tides. And it's nothing fancy, more intentionally so. I need to contact some people. But if you meet me there tomorrow night, I can show you what you're looking for.
I should be able to make it. Though I'm with other companions that may not understand, so there may be complications, but I should be able to make it.
Very well. You still want this? And it holds up the healing potion.
Yes,
We'll say
I will
40
definitely
gold
need it.
pieces.
Ah, you are very generous. Thank you.
Show of good faith. The name is Zelindra.
It is nice to meet you, Zelindra. I am Uruka.
Well met. Do you hand over 40 gold pieces?
Yep.
Okay. You can mark that you have a potion of healing. The 2d4 plus 2.
Okay. With his business concluded, he will just slink back to the room and
Okay.
get some sleep.
All right. As the evening progresses, Maldorwen, anything from you? Or are you just gone to bed?
Yeah. I think Maldorwen will just go to bed. Really, there's
Okay.
nothing on my end.
Alrighty. So with that, you all fall asleep quite quickly after the relaxing, soothing bath and now the plush comforts of being in civilization. You all sleep very well and awaken with the start of a new day. It is now the 28th of Verdandus.
Euan will stand up and stretch. Hop around his, well, not hop, but walk around in his room for just a couple of minutes to loosen up his muscles a little bit. And then head downstairs in order to wait for everyone else for breakfast. By the time they get there, he probably already has a plate of eggs with hot sauce on them.
Yep. Nice stormbird eggs for the breakfast here.
Delicious.
That's the famous Flagon. The tavern is a lot less busy here in the morning, but you do see some people. You see a orcish individual kind of come down, and someone tries to talk to him. He's like, "Don't talk to me until I've had my storm brew." He goes and sits down, drinks some storm brew. But the day has started.
I say Rhukkarrak will probably be one of the last people down because he's probably been sleeping a little bit, having stayed up a little bit later than most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Maldorwen probably took his storm brew to his room with him and then took it back to the hall during breakfast, and now he's gonna drink the other half.
And it
Asja will-
jolts you awake, that's for sure.
Asja will get up and freshen up a little bit and just kind of tie the essentials onto a belt, or like the strap of like a bag that hangs around her thing, and she'll leave her actual backpack stuff in the room. And one of the things that she will add to her bag is a fresh sauce, and she will kind of try and run her fingers through her hair and then head down, grab Rupert and head downstairs.
Okay. You all reconvene and are into eating breakfast. It was provided with the stay. It's continental breakfast.
When she sees Euan's plate, is that Stormbird eggs?
That's Stormbird eggs.
Oh, it's going to make me more homesick, but I don't care. So hungry. Mm.
How did you sleep?
The bed was a bit soft, but it was good. Not like back at home or on the walk here. On the walk here, it was good. I like that. This bed, well, it was good. Also, I'm not used to having a space under the bed. That, duh. I don't like having space under the... No. But it was okay.
I mean, you could have set up your own bedroll underneath the bed, and that could have been your space under the bed.
But that would have been very tight under the bed.
Would have been very tight.
Maybe I'll just
Switch it
sleep
up.
on the floor tonight. I did like the pillows, though.
I'm going to be really honest, the bed was a little short, but I still slept comfortably enough.
And how about
In-
the both of you?
For me, it was the other way around. The bed was so large that I woke up in the middle of the night thinking that I was still at the very dense pool. It was not a good feeling.
I did not like that pool last night. That was very bad pool.
I'd recommend not falling into that without someone to help get you out. Otherwise, you might just get enveloped and suffocated in the hug.
Yes. I managed to go back to sleep again, but I think I won't go near that pool again. For sure. How
The
about
fire
you,
pool
Ruka?
was nice. So, go ahead.
Say it's about this time that Rhukkarrak shows up. He's just a little tired. Oh, good morning. Where did you get your storm brew?
I saved some from last night.
Oh, well then I'll go order some, and he's gonna meander over to the bartender and order his food and get a storm brew for himself.
All right. You see a different elven bartender. Lennon doesn't work 24/7. But
What?
they
Okay,
give
yeah.
you a storm brew. It's very popular. You see several patrons that stay here also have storm brew that are using to get a fresh start to a new day.
What were you all talking about?
The beds.
Oh,
How you sleep
yes.
last night?
It was quite comfortable. I'm definitely not used to it. I don't know if I ever will, but no, so I slept pretty well. What about you all?
It was alright. The bed was a little short for me, but beggars can't be choosers. It's better than the road anyway.
So your bed was smaller? Maybe we can switch rooms, Euan.
My friend, I think I'm just that much bigger than you.
Oh, you're right.
Mine was okay, but it was too soft. Not what I'm used to. And I don't like the space under the bed. That makes me very nervous that somebody could be under my bed. I don't like that.
Ah, well, back home we would always have some sort of usually be a cot or not a cot. What is the word in common? Anyway, it's like a canvas leather tied up, and that is usually so that we don't get some of the nasty critters biting in night. Usually it's not too bad because the city is patrolled, tried to keep it clean, but yeah, sometimes they get in, and it's not nice to wake up with bite marks on your feet. So it was very important to have that gap underneath.
Well, where I am from, all of our furniture is made from, well, with magic from stone. So I am more used to just having big stone with a little bit of an indent in it. And then I put out this mat that we make out of some of the, well, after we remove the grains from the thing, we can turn the mat, the stalks of that into mats and stuff. And that's generally what we sleep on, with lots of blankets and pillows. But, you know, yeah, I'm used to sleeping on rock.
That's curious. I'm curious as to how that would feel, but well, this bed was good enough. Anyway, so what is the plan for today? I know you're going to stop by the Sentinels Hall.
Yes. Captain Graves did extend the invitation to all of us, as I understood.
And I am
But it
willing
would
to
be
hear
good
her
to.
out.
Yes, it would be good that we are with you, Dentes, since you are the one who knows about, well, their customs, I guess.
And you have the pin that shows you are one of them.
Oh, yes. I mean, it's not so formal as all that, especially if they are expecting us. But I can take the lead. I mean, I don't know much about this particular chapter of the. I've never been to this town, but yes, I don't mind taking the lead. Is there anything else that anyone wanted to do?
I came here with no other plans other than to travel. So anything that gets me out back on the road sooner rather than later, I'm good for whatever.
I wanted
Other-
to walk on one of the handrails of one of the bridges. So if we walk there, that would be good.
Other than that, I would like to try some of the foods. Maybe go to markets. Maybe they have a medical market. I'd like to see that too. But other than that, I am just keeping my eyes out for elves more like myself. And she taps her necklace. Just one would think that this was just west of where my city was, so maybe some of the refugees made it here. And I have some names of people that at least live in my settlement, so if I could leave names with somebody here, maybe they could ask around if anybody knows those names.
Well, seeing as Dentes is here and he seemed to travel quite far, perhaps their members go far and wide here in Aruthar.
Well, that's what I am thinking, but I am thinking that maybe this was one of the first stops. You mentioned this Valentis, and it's a bigger city of elves, so maybe they were continuing going there if there were more survivors, but I would think maybe, much like in my settlement, sometimes we have people come through and they decide to stay, so maybe some came through here and they decide to stay, and maybe I can give them list of names. And, well, the list of names is many names that were children, so, they're looking for any family. So it would be nice to go home eventually with some word for these people that they still have family.
Oh, sounds good. So we first go talk to the captain, and then, and everywhere we go, we look out for. You are a gemborn elf?
Yes, but I am... I am Elydris Gemborn, not Fire Gemborn. More more life than fire. There we go.
Okay.
The markets wouldn't be a bad... Oh, go ahead, Rhukkarrak.
Oh, no, you go ahead. You said we want to check out the market?
We do have some things to offload. We picked up on our travels here. A little bit of extra coin certainly wouldn't be a bad thing, especially if we needed more supplies.
Oh, yes, we also have the energy organ of the storm birds. Yes, I forgot about that. Anyway, yes. So let's go talk to the captain, and then we'll stop by the markets. I heard there is some on the coast. But yes. But let me finish my breakfast first. Anyway, and he's gonna start chowing down.
Euan,
Yes.
I was thinking, I did, maybe kill one of those wolves. Could I keep one of the pelts for me? And then that way on cold nights I don't have to stick my toes under you?
Of course.
Thank
I wasn't
you.
planning on selling the pelts. I was
Oh,
actually
good,
taking
because
the
they're
time
so
to.
warm.
They are. I was taking the time to tan them to make sure that they would preserve for the both of us. But
Oh, I think that
absolutely.
would be lovely, because then I don't have to put my toes under you.
that would also be appreciative.
Sorry, they get
Little
cold.
pools of ice.
Sorry? At least it's not clapping.
At least it's not clapping, that's for sure.
As
And she'll finish her breakfast.
you all finish your breakfasts and get up and start going out for the day. The city is alive and thriving around you. You see several different people going along, doing whatever they're doing in their day. Different merchants kind of holler out. You can see almost floating different vendors with different food that are handing out, different trade and commerce just happening right there on the canals themselves. And that starts to increase as you start to walk towards the southern portion of the city and closer to the Tideborn markets. Are you all wanting to take a ferry to the Tide chapter? Or how do you plan on getting there?
I
How
believe
far of a
Maldorwen
walk is
wanted
it?
to
Because
walk.
I know, yeah, Mel wanted to walk. So how far of a walk is it?
We'll say that you kind of inquired on the barkeep right there as you were finishing up breakfast. And they informed you that it was actually near the Tideborn markets towards the southern portion of the southeast of the city. From here, walking would take probably a good hour or so.
Oh, so it's not that far. Excellent.
No, but that does remind me of one other thing I would like. You see, and she reaches down and pulls up her sandals. These are not designed for long walking. Maybe I could find a pair of shoes that are meant for long walking. These are very pretty, very good for around the house, great for, if you want to dance at a celebration, but they are not good for walking 2.5 miles. Maybe I need shoes that are a little better. So maybe if we are going to after we go to Dawn, we could go to this Tide market place.
I believe that was the plan.
Okay, perfect. Let's go.
Okay, then I believe we will walk.
Okay. Maldorwen, you wanted to walk on a railing?
Yeah.
All right. As you do so, just go ahead and roll a dexterity check for me. You can use acrobatics if you want.
I'll use acrobatics, sure, why not?
Oh, no.
Oh my god, my rolls are so bad.
What's the total? 7?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
All right. So as you start to walk, you're doing fine for a little bit. Kind of just balancing there and whatnot. And you see one of the kind of just guard patrols that kind of go throughout the city. You see actually one that is boating towards you. They call out, "Hey, get off that!" And it startles you for a minute. You're like, "Ugh," and you just slip and fall into the canal itself.
Rhukkarrak would like to use his reaction to grab.
Okay. Go ahead and make just a general dex check for this to see how quickly you can reach out and grab Maldorwen before he plunges into the water below. Oh no!
Oh, wow. The total of 4.
So you are also startled by the guard kind of calling in your general direction. You almost sheepishly kind of like, what's going on? And you don't notice as Maldorwen whoosh right into the canal.
All right.
And we cut to Maldorwen just walking with sopping, the feathers all like down.
Exactly. And like by the end of the walk, that's gonna be an hour. Like he remembers that he really doesn't like to walk that much. and he didn't even make it across the bridge when he tried to walk on the hand railing. So he'll be grumpy and he'll be like, we should have taken just one of the... this is awful.
I mean, we can probably still grab a ferry. There are plenty going by.
Yes. I don't want to walk anymore.
Sorry. Yes,
Did you have
we
something to say?
we can. What?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask a clarification question, and then I finally found the clarification. So, yes, we will go. Well, we're right by the canal because Maldorwen just got out of it and waved down one of the ferrymen.
All right, as you onboard a larger ferry boat to accommodate the four of you, and say towards the Tide chapter, they do so. Here, we'll say it's 5 copper per. It's a decent voyage across the city. It's pretty much across the entire city. Like, the city isn't enormous, but so go ahead and mark that off of your sheets as you start to now much nicer drift along the canals. You see different fish kind of swimming underneath. You can see the windows of different buildings actually underneath the water itself. A little bit of light escaping from those windows. You see some individuals just walking in. And it's surreal, like submerged underneath the canals here. But as you start to get further and further south towards the general harbor and tideborne markets, the salty sea air mixes with the rich scent of spices and fresh seafood. The streets open into wide canals where floating stalls drift by, packed with colorful wares, amber glass jewelry, silks, and enchanted artifacts. Merchants shout their offers, and the hum of trade fills the air. Crossing a large stone bridge, or underneath in this case, you see larger ships docked, their decks transformed into bustling shops. Performers entertain the crowds with magic and dance, while the smell of grilled seafood and herbs waft around you, as the tideborne markets pulses with life. But you kind of drift towards the east from those, and so you just get a general view of them as you go towards a larger, more fortified-looking structure that is the Tide chapter here. And you see the different flags or banners of the same symbol of the Dawnward Sentinel that you saw the previous day on the captain's armor. Sun kind of in the background with a sword pointing upwards, as it kind of flaps in the very small little breeze that flows in from the waves. As you all depart from the boat and go into the large kind of hall, the main hall of the Tide chapter here. As you step into the Tide Heart, the grand main hall of the Tide chapter, the size of the interior of the space surprises you. The stone walls rise high, adorned with banners depicting swirling waves, fierce storms, and several different emblems. Above, amber glass chandeliers hang from the ceiling, casting a warm, flickering light that dances across the intricate mosaics beneath your feet. Scenes of past victories set in vivid blues and fiery oranges. The air is thick with the scent of sea salt and embers. The distant murmur of voices echoes through the vaulted chamber, adding to your sense of anticipation. Currently, you see a couple different individuals kind of buzzing around, but more or less with how large this interior space is, this grand kind of main hall here, it's quite barren. After kind of looking around in a little bit of awe of the different architecture here, the captain, the individual you met yesterday, kind of comes out of a room and starts to march almost towards you.
Rhukkarrak
Yeah.
would have taken the pin out of his pocket just before they walked in and affixed it to his chest.
Welcome in. I'm glad you heard my call and came to help, hopefully. Please, have a seat.
She mentioned or motions to some kind of tables along the hall here.
There's quite a lot of work that needs to be done and too little hands to go around.
What is the issue? What is the problem?
Well, many things. I mean, us as Dawnward Sentinels are tasked with many different things concerning the safety of the denizens and people of the city, as well as beyond the city itself. Currently, we would have a more abundant staff, but some individuals were sent on a couple journeys and whatnot, and they're out traveling, and we're just a little shy on members at the current time. But you all look like capable individuals. At least, I'm hoping. So we have a couple different things, and if anything fits your fancy, I would very much appreciate the help. One of the main issues that isn't as pressing, but the more time goes on, especially as Embervale draws closer, the pyro scales of the Desert Shade Woods, well, seem to grow quite large, and it's one of our responsibilities to send scouting parties out and dispose of ones that are getting too big. I currently don't have a team to do so. If this seems like something you could do, I would very much appreciate it. As if they do get too large, they start to be attracted to the city, and then we have to deal with them here, which we do have safeguards and measure, but that never bodes well. If large-scaled pyro scales knock on the front doors.
Euan will pull out the flame organ from the pyro scale that he and Asja dealt with on the way here. What can one get for something like this?
Let me see that.
Kind of reaches out a hand.
You'll hand it over.
Grabs you, and it's a pretty big, almost organ here. It almost looks like an inflatable, like little sack, if you will. She's gonna roll a nature check if she knows what this is, because it's been a minute. It's not super fresh. Let's see. Nature check. Oh no. Why is that not working? There it goes. Okay. I think she would be able to tell.
I see you've encountered these beasts before. This is a pretty decent-sized one. Not the biggest I've seen, but they can sell
They are
quite well
very
for...
tasty.
Yes. They do have their spice. Can sell for a decent amount in the markets just outside. One this size, I don't know, I'm not a merchant. But at least a couple gold.
Very well.
Hands it back to you.
Take it back, put it back in his pouch.
That is one of the rewards that comes with something like this. Is you're able to hopefully harvest some of the more valuable parts of the pyro scales, especially the large ones. Their scales themselves are quite useful for adorning armor and whatnot. But if that's not to your fancy, I know you just got here into the city. There's a couple of other things that are in need of doing. One of which is currently, as Tideswell draws to an... Well, not Tideswell. My days get mixed up. Too much going on. Stone Hollow draws to an end here. The large leviathans of the Morvian Gulf get a little more aggressive as they grow in size. There's a couple of hunting parties that go out every once in a while. And I'm sure they would love some extra support in hunting down some of those. That's another thing that would be very appreciated if you could help with. Another thing that... You can see she's a little hesitant. You can tell that there's something else there, but she doesn't know if she can fully trust you guys yet. And she kind of holds her tongue. Any of those options sound good?
You look like you had third option. I don't swim very well, and I don't really want to go home to Desert Shade Woods just yet. I just got here. What is third option?
There... I'm going to trust you. She kind of looks towards Rhukkarrak and kind of eyes the emblem, little pin that he's adorned. I hope I'm not misplacing this trust. Recently, some Khazdurim showed up on our doorstep, or water step if you will, saying that they were just traders and wanting to trade with us. However, as the Amber War and recent pasts showed, I do not trust them. The main merchant of the city, the one that is on the council, is wanting to allow these Khazdurim to entry into the city and treat them with like we were treating the other race. And I don't think we can trust them. I believe that they're in cahoots, this merchant and the Khazdurim are in cahoots and up to something. It would be a little bit more of a private, stealthy mission, if you would. Not wanting to get noticed. But if you were able to find some sort of connection there, whether that be following this council member, or maybe going into the Khazdurim's fleet. They are currently docked outside the city's walls itself, and a little bit distance away. I think getting on their fleet would be a little more difficult than, well, just doing a little spy on the merchant here in the city. I don't know if that is something you would be able to do either.
I mean, I have had quite a bit of, well, I don't know about quite a bit, but I've had dealings with Khazdurim. I am from the far north anyway. Perhaps I could just go and meet them on decent terms. Potentially find out some intent.
You are very right to not trust, though. Once they get indoor, your city will be destroyed in one day. Take it from me.
And from me.
I'm very well aware of the history that lies between us and them. They are brutal. If you have
The
dealt with
city
them,
of
you know this.
Mythendrel. The city of Mythendrel fell in a day. That's all it took them. They showed up at our door, and it was gone. One day. Your city is smaller. It will take them less time. This one, I am more willing to work on. It protects more people. And stops more energies being built up in more areas.
I will go where I am needed.
I don't understand the need for all this subtlety and everything. Like, if I could probably just remove my pin and go and talk to them, but if that's what you want, we can try and find out.
You could
good.
still take off pin and go and talk to them if, and try and get information from them. But at the same time, for me, I mean, sure, going and hunting pyro scales, but this is something that we do even back at my house. It's very smart housekeeping. Trust me, you don't want them showing up at your door. As for Leviathan, I have never been on open water before, and even the waters of Tideswell at my home make me a little nervous, so that one doesn't sit well, but I know what the Kazdorim can do if they're intent on getting something from you. And that one scares me the most for this city. So at least on the mission that I was also sent on by someone, that one is the closest to where I think my skills at least would lie.
It is interesting. I think newcomers to the city, you have a unique perspective. You don't have as many biases towards the politics of the city itself. Could help you in uncovering the truth. And maybe it is them just wanting to trade. I mean, Elandor is quite the trade port here. But we haven't really made contact with the Kazdorim since the ending of the war. Currently, there are messages going back and forth between Valtari, trying to decide what to do with them. But merchants run this city. I don't know if nothing is done, no other evidence is shown that this is more of a problem than it might initially see, they will probably be let in.
Well, I think that it would be best if I attempt to talk to them, and then we find out. You said there was a counselor or someone that is supporting
Merchant.
this. Oh, merchant.
A merchant.
Yes, one of the most wealthy individuals of the city, the main voice of the merchants within the council. Aeon Zathria. Noble prick he is.
Well, then maybe we talk to the Kazirum. If we cannot find anything there, we shadow this Aeon. And then, if there's still nothing, maybe we try to be more sneaky around the Kazdurum. See if there's anything suspicious.
Maldorwen, what do you think about all of this? You've been very quiet and we keep making choices. I am sorry.
Well, I agree that it would be best or more interesting to see what the Kazdurim are doing here.
You also do not have to limit yourself to only doing one of these. If you find some time and do the pyroscales within the Desert Shade Woods are just a few hours away usually. We just keep a good perimeter around the city. It would be very helpful there, or even taking a day's trip with the Leviathan hunters. But maybe this third option can be a little bit more well planned and thought out. As she's kind of saying this and you all are discussing, the Tide Hall or Tide Heart's doors kind of swing open in a hurry as an individual kind of stands in, rushing in with a panic. The Zorks in the city, quickly! Come on! As some of the other individuals are like, what?
as the captain kind of stands up abruptly. What in the hell? And goes and grabs some armaments and whatnot. Well, you want to prove yourself more? Follow. And she starts to charge out towards the door. What do you all do?
Rhukkarrak will gather the shadows around himself as they solidify in a pseudo armor, and he will follow, pulling his sword and dagger.
Euan will also turn, look out the door, and follow outside as well.
Okay.
Asja will get up and take her staff and I guess here we go again. Takes Rupert and kind of tucks him under her armor a little bit. You stay there and be good boy this time, and just heads towards the door and seeing where everybody else is. I guess it's more in an open, so yeah, I'll follow.
Maldorwen, you following suit?
Yeah, leaving a, little trail behind as I'm still wet.
Exactly. Alrighty. As you rush out of the Tide Chapter Hall, Captain Taryn Greaves strides ahead, urgency in her movements. You weave through the bustling streets, dodging market stalls brimming with goods, the sound of trade and chatter filling the air. Suddenly, piercing screams shatter the market's din, sending a chill down your spine. You sprint towards the source of commotion, skirting around a corner to find chaos unfolding by the canal. The waters churn violently as a massive aquatic Vizorix, monsters of elemental nature, surge through, wreaking havoc and leaving destruction in their wake. Taryn curses under breath, her eyes narrowing as she assesses the threat. She grips a javelin tightly and her voice steady but tense. Tide winds! She exclaims, a hint of frustration in her tone. Large buggers that shouldn't be able to get out of the water, but they can blast from a distance! Let's go! As she rushes towards this encounter. Go ahead and roll it. Actually, I'm looking at the time. I think that's where we're going to pick up next week.